Arsenal's grip on the Premier League title race remains firm after they registered a 3-2 win over Manchester United at the Emirates on Sunday. That win gives the Gunners, who have a game in hand, a 5-point lead over Manchester City. These are the results from the weekend in the EPL, the full results. Spurs, they beat Fulham 1-0 in the Monday game. Arsenal beat Manchester United. City beat Wolves. No goals between Leeds and Brentford. Same story for Crystal Palace and Newcastle. West Ham 2-0 better than Everton, Frankie Lampard's last game. Villa, they beat Southampton 1-0. Controversial game that was. The Southampton goal should never have been called off. 2-2 between Leicester and Brighton. Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest shared the points. And then Liverpool and Chelsea in a rather turgid game on Saturday morning. Now, Manchester United's loss at the Emirates was their first defeat in the league since November, and it left the manager Erik ten Hag frustrated by the performance of some of his players.
But I'm annoyed, and I also told the players, if you want to win trophies, titles, we have to change our mentality, because it's not possible that you are in a top game, you're making 3 such big mistakes where you concede goals. And then especially the last goal, you have to feel the game. That on that point was the maximum, and then you have to take the point, and you can't give such a goal away like we did, and on top level, then you can't win trophies.
Have one.
Simon Evans is still with us, and a member of Arsenal Fan TV has joined the broadcast as well. Leger Williams. Simon, it was a game that we have been used to. I remember as a teen watching Manchester United and Arsenal at the Highbury, and falling in love. I've always said that if I was a Manchester United fan, I'd be an Arsenal fan. It's because of nights like we saw on Sunday. A cracking game reminiscent of when these two stood tall as the 2 best teams in the UK.
Yeah, it was an excellent game, and United deserve credit for sticking in it against a very good Arsenal team who showed themselves to be a better team than Manchester United. I think it was a deserved win for Arsenal. I think they looked sharper and faster, and they played the more inventive football. United, the second half, were bunkering down more and more as the game went on. Marcus Rashford, fantastic to see him really back at his top form. Wonderful goal, and likewise Saka for Arsenal. So it was a cracking game, and I think in the end Arsenal just deserved it. I think Ten Hag was a little bit overcautious in the second half. I'd like to have seen United keep pushing forward. I think when you take off a striker like Anthony, although he was a winger really who was ineffective in the game, to bring Fred on sent a message that United were trying to play for a point, and then they got caught out in the end.
Yep. The fact of the matter is, though, where belief is concerned, you have a 5-point gap. I don't count games in hand, but they also have a game in hand. With a 5-point lead and the belief that Arteta has imbued this squad with, do you think this title is Arsenal's to lose, or do you still expect a twist from the chasing pack?
Oh, I think there's a long, long way to go. I mean, it's halfway through the season for Arsenal, so there's a long way to go, and anything can happen yet. But it has to be said, this Arsenal team is playing with a level of confidence, and winning a game like that is the kind of thing that champions do, isn't it? You know, it's a 2-2 game, maybe from Arsenal's point of view, a frustrating draw, and then they find a way to win it really, really late in the game. It is what teams that go on to win the Premier League do. But I still think, you can't rule out Manchester City. There's a team that over the years are capable of going on a run of 10, 12 games, winning streaks, and suddenly the league table looks very, very different.
Yeah, let me talk to the Arsenal fan now. Leger, a good weekend for you. Arsenal, of course, sending a signal to all the other teams taking part.
Yeah, I mean, it was a statement victory. I mean, Manchester United have been playing some really good stuff as of late. They're a team that's developing under Ten Hag, a really good coach. But I think Arsenal really showed their class, and I think it should have been a comfortable victory, just judging by the performances. If that game was played 10 times, we probably win 3-0, probably 6 or 7 times out of the 10. So it was a good victory. I'm very pleased with it, and hopefully we can take that form for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and another thing to be pleased about, the youngster, Eddie Nketiah, getting the opportunity, especially because Gabriel Jesus, dealing with an injury. Eddie Nketiah taking the opportunity and running with it.
Yeah, if you really look into what Eddie Nketiah brings to the team, he's really just like a Gabby Jesus light a lot of the stuff that Gabby Jesus does for Arsenal, Nketiah, that's his skill set. And then when you couple that with Mikel Arteta, one of the best individual player coaches in world football, working with him, I think that was always going to really expand everything he can do, and he's showing his quality now.
Yeah.
Simon, I was having a very interesting conversation with a massive Arsenal fan elsewhere this morning, and I said, so tell me something. He said Arteta was a genius, and I said, already? He said yes. So I said, okay, if they end the season with nothing, they win nothing, will you still think he's a genius? And he said yes. The question I'm asking you is this: if this Arsenal team wins nothing from here, would this have been a successful season for Arteta's men?
No, I don't think so, because they've progressed and progressed, and then this is the year when they should be winning something. You know, they've put themselves in a position where they can go and win the Premier League now, and they are the favourites probably in a lot of people's eyes, although I still stand by my view that there's a long, long way to go in that. But you would expect them to do something, at least pick up a cup along the way or something. They should be getting some reward for the progress that they've made. But absolutely, you know, maximum respect for what Mikel Arteta has done there, because, you know, there was a time when people were talking about him not being the right man and Arsenal need to go in another direction and so on and so forth. And they stuck with their guns, stuck with a young manager and gave him the time to build what has become a very entertaining and exciting team.
Yeah, as we go out, thank you for that, Simon. We are out of time. We have to leave the segment. There was a time when some people said Ole was better than Arteta. Anyway, Simon, thank you very much. We're going to look at the Premier League table as we go into the break. The Arsenal fan, Jay Williams, is saying, you know, this is a successful season, whatever happens from here. And yeah, a lot of Arsenal fans are saying that as well. All right, we take the break. Back with more on the SportsMax Zone after these.